some food now, and Nisha's in the kitchen with another one of her delicious curries. What are you making today? I mean, I say this, we know, because we've already eaten it.
I love that. I think before the cameras started rolling, it's a chicken biryani, but a really simple one. And I think biryani is one of the last things I'd ever order in a restaurant because they can be very dry.
Right, OK.
This is so quick, and in that quickness, you get a moister biryani. So this is 30 minutes from start to finish, and there are 2 parts to it, so fear not. I know it sounds complicated and it looks complicated. It really isn't. So...
Just going to say...
Yes.
Because it's out of here.
How amazing.
And this is your new book, which I've been thumbing through and reading. I love this quick, angry tandoori. Will you make that for us?
Should I try and do that next week?
Yes, please.
I'll try and do that next week for you.
I'd like that very much indeed.
It's and 30 minutes, because I think a lot of people think this style of cooking, you must take a long time, investing, soaking, all the different bits. 30 minutes, I mean, that's incredible.
Completely right, because if you think about the crucible of Indian food, my grandmother, we didn't have kitchens in India. We had a veranda with a hob with 20 minutes worth of fuel, if you're lucky, 20 minutes worth, and 1 pan from which you'd have to feed 10 people. That's the crucible of Indian cooking. It's that quick and that simple. So this business about marinating from days ahead, grinding from, you know, goodness knows however many pans, this is complex cooking compared to that. So that 30 minutes is completely authentic. It's 30 minutes from chopping board to serving up.
And you've got a new restaurant as well.
And the restaurant opened 2 days ago.
And that's called Mowgli as well?
Mowgli, and it's in Charlotte Street in London. So
amazing.
Oh, well, we'll come and see
really
you.
a completely nerve-wracking moment for me. I hope people don't hate it.
I doubt they will.
You might like this biryani. So super quickly, we have a chicken curry. That's all you're doing is creating a lovely, moist chicken curry. So crack that open and do taste it. So with chicken curry, we always start, remember, with onion, ginger and garlic. That's the architecture of any meat curry. And into that, really finely chopped, if you can, chicken breast or thigh. Thigh is always better if you dare. And then our spices. And remember my mantra, it's only ever 3 spices to get a really authentic curry. Turmeric, which is that sort of earthy foundation. And then chilli for the tiniest little bit of warmth. We don't do it for heat, tiny bit of warmth. And then the main meat spice is garam masala, which is a blend of all of those kind of big, aromatic, woody spices. So let me show you. You carry on eating and I'll just talk at you.
We will.
That's how I kind of like to roll. OK, into this. So garam masala has got things like this in it. Cinnamon, cloves, cardamom, all of those big knobbly things in jars in a spice shop. That is how you make garam masala. But because biryani is kind of slightly... It's made slightly dozy by the rice, that sort of duvet of rice. You want to get those spices to pop a bit more. So we put some whole spices in. Whatever you've got, if you can be bothered. A few cloves, cardamom pods, etc. Then we go in with water. And that is your curry. So we're going to let that simmer. Now, the secret to a good biryani is to get, remember I was saying, a really nice, loose, wet curry. So we let that simmer until it's just about cooked. And then... So the pressure's off a bit because it's then going to go into the oven for another 15 minutes. So you want it so that it's just not raw, really, and then it's going to sit in the rice. We've also cooked rice, and can I tell you about cooking rice? Because it's the easiest thing in the world. And
it's the easiest thing to get wrong.
It's the easiest...
I think.
I was 35. I'm Indian, and I was 35 before I learned how to cook rice properly.
Right.
So this is the absorption method. So 1 cup builder's mug of raw rice will feed a family of 4. So 1 cup of builder's rice, and you just double the water. So 2 cups of water. That's all I've done here. Bit of turmeric because it looks beautiful and wintry and, you know, beckoning. So a bit of turmeric in that. And then you cook it until it's nearly dry. Put a lid on it and forget about it. Switch the heat off, put it on a naughty step, forget about it. And you end up with this.
And when you say forget about it, for how long?
Honestly, 10 minutes, and that's it.
Right, OK.
So you are going to simmer that for about 5 minutes. As soon as you're starting to get anxious as to whether it's ready or not, lid on, naughty step,
I'm going to try that.
Please do.
I'm useless.
Really works. And then the biryani is a construction job, and it's simply this. You get a layer of rice in the bottom. A really good biryani will have fried onions. Well, God, I love fried onions. So this is real sort of hot dog onion kind of thing. And you put a layer of fried onions over your rice because you get that sort of extra... It's all about getting that moistness and that sweetness. So you get a layer of onions over your rice. You can then shroud those onions with a bit more rice, which I'm going to do, but I want to construct this really quickly. I'm making a mess. OK. So you're getting a kind of sandwich thing going on with this sort of surprising sweetness. And then you load on your curry. And you could do just 2 layers. Whatever you have, you know, whatever whatever sort of cooking pot you have, just get those layers going. As long as you end, and this is the most important thing, as long as you end with rice.
So it's like the blanket over the top.
Exactly right. And then what we do to get a very sort of luxurious edge to a biryani is we soak a little bit of saffron, and this is completely optional, honestly, because I always think that's a slightly elitist ivory tower ingredient, saffron. You know, I don't use it very often. It's very Persian, very festive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. There's no need. Do I even add it? It's ITV this morning. Let's get it on.
No, you're not paying for it, we are.
It's nearly Christmas.
Yeah, true. So on with a bit of saffron that's just been soaked in milk for about 5 minutes, and then you put a lid on, and you get a sausage of dough, any kind of dough, and you make a seal. And what that does is it essentially turns this pot into a pressure cooker, and then it keeps all the flavour in, and it drives the moisture
And then you
into
just
the meat.
I mean, and if you didn't do that, would it be the worst thing in the world?
Not at all. You don't even need to do that.
But it's quite nice. I quite liked opening it and cracking open the dough, and it's nice.
Exactly. And there we go. And there's your biryani. Didn't even get time to serve it, but lid off, crack it open, and you see the steam.
It is absolutely
It's
beautiful.
so delicious.
And also, I mean,
flavours.
if maybe you don't cook very much curry and you're thinking, oh, my God, biryani sounds really hot, there's no heat in it. There's
not at all.
Just aromatics.
Elegant spice. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
There's no need for heat.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very
30-minute
much.
Mowgli is out now.
Thank you very much.
For details of today's recipe and more delicious ideas from our chefs, download the free This Morning app.